Sunday, July 25th, a good day to read the Bible of financial destruction, written by Chris Dodd and Barney Frank, also known as Frank and Dodd. Now, I have heard little to no discussion about what this bill contains, so I decided to try my hand at just glancing through it and trying to get some kind of a basic interpretation of what is intended for this bill to accomplish by its crafters. As I can tell so far, it means that there's going to be more oversight. There's going to be more, what did they call it? Stricter standards for undercapitalized holding companies. A holding company, as you probably know, you do everything. It's your little company, man. Whatever you're holding, whatever your assets are, a bunch of money, a bunch of stocks, several municipal bonds, treasury bonds, foreign currencies, commodities, other raw materials. The worth of this, people invest, give you their money based upon your ability to take your holdings and make more money out of them, so these people who invest in you figure that you can do the same for them. If you are undercapitalized, that means that there's not sufficient amount of investment being done in your company. So therefore, whatever it is that you are invested in, you may not be able to afford it actually. And if you can't unload it, it's going to just come to the government's attention that, oh boy, here's a bunch of holdings that not many people are buying right now. So let's do with them like we did with AIG. Send a bunch of people in there, figure out what exactly they got, and find a way to keep our thumb down on them so that we, the government, Barney Frank, can get it from them. You see, just like they got AIG, a company with $3 trillion or so worth of assets and holdings, which the government bought 80% of the stocks, which amounts to about 3 billion shares at the time of the buying. March 9th, 2009 was when they bought it at 36 cents a share, so they barely paid $1 billion for something worth $3 trillion. And you have no idea what exactly it is. Supposedly involves a lot of foreign holdings. Anyway, remember how Frank and Dodd had all kinds of control over that little episode. So now they've created a how-to manual in this bill of how to repeat this and slowly devour everything that is privately owned in the United States of America by creating shitty conditions where it will be unable to function, and then when it can't function, coming in and taking it from people. This is an invasion of communism. This is a communist invasion without firing a shot. This is the end, man. This is going to result in banks folding up one by one, the smaller to the bigger, until there's just one bank run by the U.S. government. The Federal Reserve is just going to become totally government federal. You people don't like the Federal Reserve because it's privately owned and the government has input in it. You know what? The only thing wrong with the Federal Reserve, it's not privately owned enough. There should be no government involvement in it, especially since we all have debit cards and credit cards and plastic money that is really not a piece of paper anymore anyway. I'm still looking for my first piece of printed currency with little Timmy Geithner's signature on it. I haven't found one yet because they are non-existent. Every dollar that has been legislated by this president and his Congress since his election, and I believe also the TARP fund, but I was a different secretary under that, they haven't printed a bill, okay? The only reason that the paper money's out on the streets is because the government makes laws where they say, well, how much is that program going to cost? Oh, about $49 billion. Okay, we'll print the money and pass it out to the banks and spend it somehow or other. Just spray the area with it. The cost of gold be damned, and inflation be damned, and deflation be damned. Just put it out there, and let's make the currency as unstable as possible so that the other currencies will not be able to stabilize themselves upon it, and all of our currencies will eventually become one for one, because we just keep on putting more and more dollars out there. If the dollar's worth more, then you print more dollars, and you make it so that it becomes less with relation to the amount of gold that's in the Fort Knox, the debt that is associated with the gold that's in Fort Knox. Then, as we print more and more money, these countries like where their currency, it takes 65 of theirs to make one of ours, well, we just keep printing money, and then pretty soon we'll all be one for one, you see. This is how they're going to roll us into one world currency. You can make them all even slowly but surely, until everybody's sufficiently miserable to the same extent, and then the dollar will disappear. There will be something new with Barack Obama's picture on it, or Satan's or something.